Hi everyone, my name's Tessa and I'm a short course trainer at the National Institute of Circus Arts. Some of the classes I usually teach are aerial preparation and aerial hoop, and I'm just about to finish my Masters of Osteopathy. So today we're going to be learning a good warm-up to do before you go for a run and some strength and stretching exercises to help prevent injuries and assist with your running. Before we start, let's make sure that the space we're working in is safe. So what you need to do is clear an area of about 3 metres by 3 metres. Make sure that you've moved all the furniture back and that you're not too close to the windows or the telly. You'll need a mat, a water bottle, ball and chair, and if you want to write some of these exercises down, maybe a pen and paper. We're going to start with our running warm-up and then move on to strength and stretching component. Let's get started. Cool. So these exercises are going to be warming up the muscles that we use when we go running. So when you run, you want to make sure that your back is actually moving nicely, so twisting side to side. We want to make sure that your legs, backs of your legs are feeling nice and warm, and also our calves and feet, we have to make sure they're warm as well. So when we're running through some exercises that you can do before you go for a run, and it will help you warm up your body so it's feeling good. You can run a bit faster hopefully. It strengthens those muscles up that you need when you go for a run. And because your muscles are stronger, they're feeling warm, you're less likely to injure yourself. So let's start off with glute bridges. So glute bridges are really important because when you run, you actually want to be engaging your bum. Quite a lot of us find that difficult, so we need to give it a bit of encouragement. So glute bridges, lying down on your back, make sure your heels are nice and close to your bottom. The closer they are to your bottom, the more you're going to be using your bottom. If your heels are further out, you're going to be using your hamstrings more. So it kind of depends where you want to target. But today we're targeting the glutes. So tuck those heels in. And we're just going to be pushing through your heels. Try and make sure the weight's out of your toes. So I lift my toes up. You want to push through your heels so you've got a nice straight back. So see here, pushing your bottom all the way up so it's nice and squeezed, and you're going to hold it there. Okay, and then we're going to count to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slowly lower down. So I'm curling up the spine because just to get more control when we can squeeze our glutes. Okay, so let's go again. Rolling up, pushing through your heels, squeezing your bottom. So I like tapping my bottom on the side to make sure that they're squeezed. Pushing as high up as you can and slowly rolling down. Excellent. Okay, 3 more. Rolling up through your spine, squeezing your bottom, hips up towards the ceiling, pushing through your heels, and slowly coming down. So hopefully you should be feeling a little bit of a burn, but here. And up again. And I think this is our 4th one. We'll do one more, just in case. And slowly rolling down. And last one, really squeeze your bottom. Try and squeeze from the bottom here, and then have it squeezed all the way up, going up. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and rolling down. Nice one. So hopefully glutes are firing up a bit. Next one, it's called an arabesque. So, let's make sure my head is still in. So what we're going to do is arabesque. It's a really efficient warm-up. So I'll show you first. So you lift one leg up, and then you're going to reach it back and try and balance, and then coming up. So what this does is the stabilizing leg is you're activating all the stabilizing muscles which you have to do when you go for a run. So your hips, knees, ankles, and then the leg that's up, we're warming up your hip flexors and core, which is that same running position up here when your leg has to go to the front, okay? So we're going to do 5 of those on each side. Try and stay nice and stable, okay? So lift that leg up. Because we're doing circus, keep your toes pointed. And then try and drop your chest forward, bring your foot back, and try and stabilize. So my left leg is really trying to stabilize right now. And coming up. 4 more. Coming back. Ooh! Lucky I'm standing next to my chair, so I don't fall, and coming up. So I start to feel my supporting leg, so my left leg or my hips starting to work, which is exactly what we want. And I can't count and talk at the same time, so we'll do one more and hopefully that's enough. And back up. So I feel it really working all up here. Okay, so other side. You can hold on to something if you need. Like me, my balance is not great. Okay, point those toes. And coming back. One side you might feel more stable than the other. And lifting that knee forward. Try and really tilt that chest. Engage your core and stabilize with that right leg. Or left if you're doing your left leg now. So yeah, this one's a really efficient one because it warms up both sides at the same time. And we'll do one more because yet again, I have lost count. Okay, there we go. So this next one, I'm going to bob down so you can see me. We're going to do some lunges with a twist. So we're incorporating getting some rotation and movement into your upper back. And then we're also going to be working on those legs to warm up those muscles and stabilizing as well. Okay, so we're going to do 5 on each leg. So you're going to take a step forward, lunge. You can pop your knee on the ground or you can hover if you want to activate more muscles. Twist, twist. And I do that a couple of times just to really get some movement in there and popping back up. And then let's go, I'm going to go same leg so then I work the muscles more. So I feel more of a burn. And we're going to do 5. So 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and the other side. Try and take nice big lunges, not little ones. It'll engage more muscles, means you need more control. I think we've done 3. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more. Okay, next thing we're going to do, pull up the pants, feeling good, legs already starting to feel warm. We're going to do some leg swings. So that will just help stretch out hamstrings, stretch out the quads, stretch out the, what are they called? Hip flexors. Yeah, just prevents, like it lengthens the muscle so it prevents you from tearing anything or pulling anything when you go on your run, especially because it's pretty chilly at the moment. So this is where your chair comes in handy. Or if you've got a table or something, hand on, other hand on your hip, and then you're going to kick your leg forwards and back. Okay? I want you to try and keep your chest up. Don't do these ones, because that's not going to work as well, and it doesn't look great. So, palms underneath. I turn my feet out, but that's just, you know, the inner ballerina coming out. Jokes. I suck at ballet. Okay. Squeezing your bottom, hands on the hip, kicking up, keep your chest up, and then kicking back, keep your chest up, okay? Try and keep your knee as straight as you can. If you're purely a runner, you could do these ones, but we're not. We're circus performers, so we like straight legs. With this, I guess you roughly want to do it for maybe 20 seconds each leg until you start feeling nice and warm. So my hips are feeling warm, so I'm going to do the other side. Keep your chest up. Ooh, this camera angle makes me seem like my knees are bent, but I swear they're straight. Keep that chest still and swinging. Okay, mine feel warm. So this next one, you would be facing your, whatever you're holding on to. We're doing sideways kicks. I'm not going to do that because then you won't be able to see me. So I'll show you first. Hands on, and then you're swinging sideways. Okay, so here, and then you swing your leg under, and kick it up, and you want to rotate your leg out. Wait, I'll come closer so you can see my leg. So you want to rotate so your knee is up towards the ceiling at the top. Good angle, huh? Okay, hands on, leg underneath, and lift your knee up towards the ceiling. So this one gets more adductors. And the other side. Oh, make sure you don't hit anything. So when you're doing this one, you want to make sure that your bottom isn't sticking out when you're doing it, like this. Keep bottom in, okay? Next one, what we're going to do are single leg hops. So, I'll go here. So this one will really warm up the plantar fascia in your feet, which basically, on your feet, you've got all these muscles at the bottom of your foot, and that fascia needs to really warm up because it helps spring and helps you push off with your feet. So we're going to wake that up, wake up the calves a bit. This one is tiring, but you know, it's a really good one to do. So single leg hops. It's exactly what it sounds like. Oh, I told you my balance wasn't good. So pushing through your toes, really try and push as high through your toes as you can. Make sure you bend your knees to compress that landing. And you do it again for about 30-ish seconds, maybe 20 seconds. That feels warm enough for me. If you feel like you need to do a bit more, you can do a bit more, but that's warmed all the way up my calf and my foot's feeling good. This one's a really good one to do if you're anything like me and get foot cramps when you run. Like maybe the circulation isn't that great through your feet and you might get a few cramps at the start. This one's good to get the blood pumping through there. There we go. So, whew, that's feeling nice. Much warmer. Now another really important one to warm up, hip flexors, okay? Hip flexors can get really tight on a lot of people, and when you run, they get really tight. So especially if you're running a bit, or if you're not used to running, actually, you know what? Even if you are used to running, stretch out your hip flexors. So what we're going to do is knee down, other foot up, try to catch my breath, and make sure you're going straight up, 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here. Squeeze your bottom, tuck it underneath, so it should be nice and straight, and you should be getting a stretch on this side. To get more of a stretch, lift your arm up and over that bent leg. So I get a stretch all under here. Okay, and let's do the other side. So, tuck your pelvis under. See how it's not sticking out like that? That doesn't stretch. Tuck it underneath, squeeze your bottom, lift your arm up and over your bent leg. Cool. Okay, the last thing we're going to do today is, I'll just get my ball, one of these guys. So you can do it beforehand. It's great to do beforehand. Really good to do afterwards as a recovery and cool down, because it's really common to just go for your run, you're finished, you feel amazing, you're all sweaty heap, you know, you look fabulous, and then you don't do any cool down. But that's when things start to get really, really tight. You'll get more sore, and it will just impact how well you can run next time because you're not feeling so fab afterwards. So I would really recommend, if you don't do anything afterwards, if you could just get this little ball and sit on it for, 5 minutes afterwards, anything helps, okay? So I'll show you a few spots, like some of the tight zones, I guess, that can occur when you run. So first one is foot. So all those muscles that we were talking about before, they get really tight, okay? So, hopefully my head's still in it. Just pop it underneath your foot and you can roll around on the arch of your foot. You don't really want to go on the balls of your foot or the bony bits because it doesn't do much if you massage bone. You can if you want, but it won't do a huge amount. You kind of want to be on that meaty, muscly bit. So right in the arch, and you can roll around like that. If you feel a particularly tight spot, just hold it on that spot and wait for it to decrease in pain a bit and relax out, and then you can roll around again. But I mean, even if you just do 30 seconds on each foot, that's so much better than not doing anything. Ideally, maybe you could spend a couple of minutes on each foot, but realistically, it's harder to fit all of that in. It's also really good to do that hip flexor stretch at the end as well, just to stop that tightness in your hips that we were talking about. So yeah, if you're going to do any, see, I'm swapping feet now. If you were going to do any sort of cool down, I would probably say the hip flexor stretch and then using this ball. And then obviously if you have other niggles, like I get a super tight back, so I would do these ones to like rotate my back to just get that loosened up again, because otherwise it can get super tight. Maybe you get, I don't know, super tight lungs or something, or pecs from breathing really heavily because you're a megastar and like sprinting it, then you might want to do a pec stretch. So it just kind of depends on where you're tight. Okay, we've done feet. Next spot, which is good for running, is calves. Because I'm not sure about you, but my calves get mega tight when running. So roll up and down. Again, you want that meaty bit. You can go to the side here. This is your stabilizing muscles, your perineal muscles, and they get super tight, so you can roll on your side and roll up and down on those. Got to be a bit brave to do those hurt. You can also go further inside your calf. Kind of just depends on where you're tight. But again, feel where there's a tight spot, hold it there for a bit. You can also, another goodie, is if it's there, then you can flex and point your toes, and that kind of intensifies the massage, I guess. Yeah, so flexing and pointing. And then we could do that on the other side as well, but I won't do that right now. You can do that in your own time. Next one, butt. So your glutes, they get tight, hopefully, if you're using them when you're running. So to do that, sit on it. And again, wherever it hurts, kind of roll around, and you probably get a sore spot, pretty much instantly. It's a good thing. Remember, so you've got this muscle called your TFL. So that's a muscle right on the side of your hip. If you roll onto your side, that muscle gets used a lot when you're running. It helps stabilize things and is often missed out a bit with this ball. So yeah, just roll onto your side, and basically, where it hurts, you probably found it, and just, relax. Yeah. Cool. So, you can keep doing that. I'm just going to wind this all up. I know that's a few things to do before you go on your actual run. Like, a lot of people don't have a huge chunk of time to do that, and they just want to go for a run. So what I've run through is like the ideal warm-up, but you don't have to do all of those things. If you were going to do anything, I would say your glute bridges, maybe then do your glute bridges, probably then like an arabesque or leg swings, depends what you prefer. So the arabesque is when you're standing on one leg, bring one leg in front and then back. And then finish off with your single leg hops. So they're 3 things, which really, that doesn't take that long to do before you warm up. And it will just help your running so much more. And really, it sucks when you just get into a groove of running it and then, you pull something. So this will just help prevent that. And then to cool down, hip flexor stretch and this guy. So, yeah, that's the class. Hopefully you liked it. I'm going to go for a run. I'm feeling fabulous. I'm ready to go. Hopefully this has been helpful. Cool. See you guys later.